So our see morning little bit pending was there. So from that onwards we will start. Okay, ma, there is a linear relationship between incident light and carbon dioxide fixation. See, there is a linear relationship. See, like this way, straight relationship between incident light. That means the light that falls on the plant. So the amount of light that falls on the plant and carbon dioxide fixation rates at a low intensity of light, at low concentration. From the low concentration of light, how much light is falls on the plant and carbon dioxide fixation. In between these two, the relationship is straight line. So light saturation, generally light saturation occurs. Saturation means sufficient levels occurs at 10% of the full sunlight. Out of 100%, 10% is 10% of concentrated light is 10% of the concentrated light is sufficient. Hence, except for plants in shade or in dense forest, light is rarely a limiting factor in nature. So light is not important because some plants, those are basically grow in shade or dense forests. So generally in the plants which are growing in forest areas, canopy like this way, canopy will be large. This is stem. Canopy is like this large. Under this canopy, this is called canopy. Under this canopy, some kinds of plants will grow. These are called shady plants. Shady plants under shadow, they can grow. Okay, so for these plants, light is not a important factor. A limit less amount of light also sufficient for them. If more light falls on them, those plants are died. Okay, so increase in incident light that falls on plant beyond a light point. Beyond light point, that means beyond sufficient point, that causes breakdown of the chlorophyll breakdown and decrease the photosynthesis. Okay, so when the excess amount of light falls on the leaf surface, due to excess amount of light, break down the chlorophyll. If the chlorophyll is break down, automatically photosynthesis is decreased. Next, carbon dioxide. See here, carbon dioxide concentration. Carbon dioxide is essential factor for photosynthesis. So it is a major limiting factor for photosynthesis, major factor. Okay, so the concentration of carbon dioxide is very low in the atmosphere, that is in between this 0.03 and 0.04%. Increase in concentration up to 0.05% can cause an increase in carbon dioxide fixation. That already we have seen. So mornings. Okay, so if initially carbon dioxide concentration is increased, no problem, rate of photosynthesis a little bit is increased, no problem, a little bit is increased. Experiment A, experiment C, like carbon dioxide concentration is increased. Experiment A, carbon dioxide concentration little bit is increased. Carbon dioxide concentration is still more is increased. Nothing happens here. 10%, 15%, 20%. So like this way, little is increasing, nothing happens. Rate of photosynthesis. See here, increase in concentration up to 0.05%. It can cause increase in carbon dioxide fixation rate. So here carbon dioxide fixation rate is less. Even though that carbon dioxide is sufficient for photosynthesis, here little bit increase. Even this is also sufficient. Here little bit increase. This is also sufficient for photosynthesis. Okay, that's all. So beyond this level, beyond 0.05. So in this one, third experiment, C experiment, beyond maximum 25%, 25 degrees centigrade, light, 25% carbon dioxide. Beyond this, if it is increased, so beyond this level can become damaging over long periods. Short duration is exposure, nothing happened. So chronic exposure to excess amount of carbon dioxide leads to damaging photosynthesis. So the fact that C3 plants respond to higher carbon dioxide concentration because so ribulose bisphosphate is combined with carbon dioxide. It is converted into hexose sugar, unstable. Hexose sugar converted into 3 molecules of phosphoglyceric acid, 3 carbon atom of phosphoglyceric acid. Okay, so if excess amount of carbon dioxide is there, oxygen does not bind to the ribulose bisphosphate. If carbon dioxide, if oxygen content is more, it will binds with this. Carbon dioxide fixed with this is decreased. Then some disturbance happen. Photorespiration starts. So that, see here what in C3 plants respond to higher concentration by showing increased rate of photosynthesis. If excess amount of carbon dioxide is combined with ribulose bisphosphate, then it shows excess amount of photosynthesis, leading to higher productivity. Productivity means what? Glucose converted into sucrose, sucrose is converted into starch. Okay, so higher productivity. It has been used for some greenhouse crops such as tomatoes. Tomato is like this only. It will absorb excess amount of carbon dioxide. Bell pepper nothing but capsicum. It also uses excess amount of carbon dioxide. These crops are allowed to grow in carbon dioxide enriched atmosphere. Okay, these crops are allowed to grow in carbon dioxide enriched atmospheres that leads to higher yields. Generally, bell pepper, tomato, such kind of plants are allowed to grow in where excess amount of carbon dioxide is released. As a result of this, higher yield comes. We can get higher yield. Yield means crop. Excess amount of crop we will get. Okay, that is the carbon dioxide. Ultimately, here carbon dioxide conclusion what? If beyond saturation level, beyond suboptimal level, if carbon dioxide concentration is increased, it can damage the photosynthesis. C3 plants can absorb, say, maximum certain amount of carbon dioxide. Beyond that, carbon dioxide content is increased, it leads to damage to the photosynthesis, even in C3 plants also. Temperature. Yes, here already at the beginning topic only I said, beginning topic only. Temperature. The dark reactions being enzymatic. Dark reaction is being enzymatic reaction. Already we discussed how it is enzymatic reaction. CO2 is combined with ribulose bisphosphate. Ribulose bisphosphate 1,5 ribulose 1,5 diphosphate. Carbon dioxide combined with ribulose 1,5 bisphosphate. It is combined. So here one enzyme is involved for the formation of hexose sugar. Hexose sugar, that is ribulose bisphosphate carboxylase oxygenase. Like this way, everywhere enzymes are involved. So the dark reaction is being enzymatic and are also temperature controlled process. So though the light reactions are also temperature sensitive, they are affected to much lesser extent. Okay, see here this point. The dark reaction is a highly enzymatic reaction and temperature control process. Temperature control, even dark reaction or light reaction, if excess amount of temperature is fall, those reactions are affected. Though the light reactions are also temperature sensitive, light reaction also temperature sensitive, they are affected to a much lesser extent. Very minute quantity, light reactions also affected if temperature is more. Okay, so temperature, carbon dioxide, light, everything suboptimal level. Beyond suboptimal level, if it is increased, below suboptimal is decreased. Effect of photosynthesis. C4 plants respond to higher temperature, but here C4 plants can respond to higher temperature and show high rate of photosynthesis. C4 plants can respond to high temperatures. So if they are responded to high temperature, here carbon dioxide content is really more. While C3 plants have a much lower temperature optimum. Comparatively, C4 plants, C3 plants have C3 plants have a much lower temperature optimum. That means what? At lower temperatures only they can survive. But C4 plants can survive in higher climatic conditions, high temperature climatic conditions. Even though up to certain limit only. Beyond that, if more temperature is falls on leaves, means chlorophyll damage, photosynthesis does not take place. So ultimately, temperature beyond optimal level, below optimal level, enzymes and the reactions get affected. Last and final one is water. water. Even though water is one of the reactant in the light reaction. Yes, one of the reactant in the light reaction. In the light reaction, water is one of the reactant means what? 2H2O. Light activated chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is activated by the light. This and releases 4 electrons, 4 protons, and oxygen. In this one, water is the one reactant in the light reaction. So these protons, these electrons are absorbed by photosystem 2, 700 nanometers through electron transport, electron acceptor molecules. So further process goes. So ultimately here light is a major factor for electrons and protons and oxygen. So the effect of water as a factor, is more through its effect on the plants. The effect of water as a factor is more through its effect on the plants. It's correct. The effect of water as a factor is more through its effect on the plants. Yes, sir. If water is absent, imagine, will it be light reaction? Can take place dark reaction? Is it possible to synthesize ATP? Is it possible to synthesize NADPH2? Is it possible to release protons, electrons, oxygen? Yes, that. Total system is spoiled. Rather than directly on photosynthesis, water, along with that, water stress causes the stomatoclosis, thereby reducing carbon dioxide availability. Okay, so water stress, water content is less, then automatically stomatoclose. Now thereby, if stomatoclose, thereby reducing carbon dioxide availability. So besides water stress, it also makes leaves wilt. So it is one during stress conditions. So water scarcity. Stress means when water is less amount is recorded. At that time, the stomata is closed, thereby reducing carbon dioxide availability. Besides water stress, it also makes leaves wilt. Leaves wilt means what already we discussed. Wilting. Wilting means what? When water scarcity is there, when water is not available in soil or in that particular plant, then automatically plant will hang. Wilt means hang aside. When plant does not receive sufficient water, at that moment, the leaves in the plant are hang aside. That is called wilt, thus reducing the surface area of the leaves and their metabolic activity as well. When the wilting is faced, well, when water is not sufficiently available to one particular plant, then automatically the leaf surface area, this is leaf surface area. This leaf surface area also gradually decreases, reducing the surface area. If surface area is reduced, metabolic activities, catabolism, anabolism, all kind of metabolic activities are